Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic host of Bachelor Nation News. Corinne back as villain on new show. Look, we're going to dive right into it. Corinne's on a new show called House of Villains on the E! Network. I'm going to share with you what we know about the show, what's going on. If you don't remember Corinne, she was on Nick Viall's season of The Bachelor and on Bachelor in Paradise. You remember she was the one who took her top off on a group date, and Nick was like, oh, this is super weird. He said it was really uncomfortable, but she seemed to be sort of like the villain, but aware that she was a villain. I posted this yesterday, which I didn't actually plan to include, but maybe you guys can help me out. I have a theory here that Bachelor villains, let's see if I can find it. I feel like a Bachelor villain is a Slytherin that thinks they're a Hufflepuff. Is that a Bachelor villain? I don't think she thinks she's a Hufflepuff. I think she thinks she's a Slytherin, or at least knows it. But of course, I never enjoyed Corinne, kind of just because of her place of privilege where she came from. She had a nanny. She talked about her nanny on the show, and then she's like the CEO of her dad's company. And it's like, talk about starting on third base and thinking you hit a triple. But hey, you can't really blame her for that. It's what she makes of her life, I guess. But everything here's they said everything you need to know about Corinne. She was 24. I mean, I think she's 31 now, but when the show aired, ever since episode 2, when Olympios decided to get Nick's focus back on her by taking her top off in a racy pool photo shoot, she has been the contestant to watch when it comes to starting drama and incensing the other women in the house. Of course, she got in a fight with Taylor Nolan, and Nolan accused her of like bullying her and this and that. But of course, what we know about Taylor Nolan at this point, was that Taylor Nolan was, problematic herself, I guess. I don't even know how to talk about this. Went to Florida International University and is from Florida. So, Florida women, these Florida women. So what else do we have here? She runs her family's online business. So, of course, she mentioned she's like, runs a multi-million-dollar online business. She, which was interesting because it was not exactly what you would think a young woman would be doing. Nothing against her, not to be sexist, but running a family business that does roof coatings and epoxy flooring is very interesting. All right, model, actress, all that, yada, yada, yada. She has a nanny that features heavily on the show. It bears repeating. The 24-year-old has a nanny named Raquel, who viewers saw bring Corinne a bowl of peeled and chopped cucumbers in her Bachelor introduction. All right, so anyway, that's Corinne. That's what we know about her, and here's what they say about House of Villains. The tentative work title is House of Villains. The first day of filming was this week, so it literally just started filming. We know nothing else about it, and the list is subject to change, but here's who's on the show. We have Shake from Love is Blind. You remember him? You know what I liked about Shake, and no one likes him, but everyone was telling him like, oh, the purpose of Love is Blind is that love is blind. And he goes, well, it's not, talking to Vanessa Lachey, he was like, you married a boy band member. You're both beautiful. Clearly love's not blind. Now, of course, he didn't say it with that much tact, but is love blind? I don't know. I mean, I think in some cases it can be, but I think aspects of love are blind and aspects aren't. All right, then we have Anfisa. Am I pronouncing that right? I have no idea. From 90 Day Fiance. I don't know anything about that show. She must be a villain because she's on it. And leave a comment below if you know any of these people. Bobby Lights from Love and Hip Hop Miami. Again, don't know. Corinne from The Bachelor. There she is. With a nice crochet top, I might add. It looks like a mothball ate part of the shirt, but there it is. Jax Taylor, I've heard the name from Vanderpump. Hey, if you got a body like that, you can be a villain all day long. He looks ripped. I'm kidding. Johnny Bananas from The Real World and The Challenge. One of the most famous reality stars of all time. I mean, he's from the days of The Real World and The Challenge when that was like the hit TV show. Johnny Fairplay from Survivor, also a name I know, but don't really remember his season. Rachel Riley from Big Brother, don't know. Tanisha Thomas from Bad Girls Club. I used to love Bad Girls Club. I don't know why that image isn't popping up. Oh, there it is. And Tiffany from Flavor of Love. And that's it. That's Anna Sorkin was in talks to be a part of the show as the host. Hold on a second. Hold on. I said Sorkin. Annadelva. Anna Sorkin, Annadelva. And people that were contacted that we need more info to know if they are on or not. Heidi Montag, Omarosa from The Apprentice, and Farrah Abraham from Teen Mom and YouPorn. Now, this is interesting. She was contacted to be the part of the show. Again, this show started filming this week. She, I believe, is on house arrest. Let's just look up Annadelva here because this is just a very strange kind of circumstance here. Annadelva, Anna Sorkin also known as Annadelva, is a con artist and fraudster who posed as a wealthy heiress to access the upper echelons of the New York social world. So they just made, obviously, this story about her, which is a fascinating show that they made about her, sort of essentially whining and dining her way as a fake heiress into all of the elites of New York City, all the way to the point of creating her own socialite community. So if this will be an interesting show. It's going to be on E! News or a part of the E! News network. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to be, but when there's more information on this, we will check it out. In other news here, we've got a funny clip from the Your Mom and Dad podcast. Let's have a listen.
You think it's a sign? You think their names are on cards?
You know what? I actually don't know. That's a good question. I would need to ask.
I would imagine they
it.
don't. I would imagine that the producers are too smart and they know, like, this person needs their rest. Let's stick them in the worst bunk. Boom, boom.
Probably.
Like, they know how to, like, get people riled up.
I would need to ask Becca, but we never see much of the inside of the mansion because apparently it's terrible. It's not fancy. It's just like they shove like tons of people in one room. It's stressful. There's like not many bathrooms.
Can you Airbnb it when it's not in session?
Yes, you can.
Okay, I was going to say.
We could, but it's quite expensive. I'm like, if you don't want to live for a few months, then we can rent it out and do some vlogging inside.
You know what we could do? Get every Bachelor podcast to go in on it, and then everyone can podcast from the mansion.
Wow.
Oh my God, Evan.
It's pretty good.
This is a plea to all of our Bachelor podcasting and YouTube family. We need Game of Roses. We need Dave Neal. We need Descartes. We need Love to See It. We need, oh my God, there's so many. Two Black Girls, One Rose.
You just say, hey, this is a GoFundMe. We all put money in the pot. We rent the place out, and then we could use it for content. It's not a bad idea.
It's very good.
So it's not
all right,
a bad
call
idea.
to action, everyone.
Wow.
And I respect that they have the foresight to think of this idea. Game of Roses and I also independently thought of this idea last year on a conversation we had, because the price to rent out the villa was actually only like 10 grand for the weekend, which is a lot of money, but if we did a private live stream or something, it could be fun. Now, if you look, the price has gone up to $23,000 to rent the mansion. I don't know if that's because they redid the interior and added new furnishings or what, but $23,000 a night, that's the price you set when you don't want to do it and you're just like, you know what, let's just set the price so high that no one bothers us. But when you look on the listing, it's not even listed at all. So I personally would rent out the Bachelor Mansion at around $10,000 for the weekend. Of course, that would, if I was splitting it with a few other podcasters. My guess is that we would do like an exclusive behind the scenes live stream where we have like an epic podcast between all of us and put that all behind a paywall so people could be like a virtual guest. But there are a lot of things you can't do on the show here. Absolutely no parties, no filming, no professional photography or gatherings without approval from ownership in writing. Intimate weddings, okay, with approval. If this rule is not followed, you will be shut down immediately and the police will be called for trespassing. So apparently in the past, I'm sure these rules exist because this happened. People said, oh yeah, we'll rent it out. Then all of a sudden they're like, we're having a party at the Bachelor Mansion. I've heard that the Bachelor Mansion's nice, but also like falling apart. I mean, it's a 200-year-old Mediterranean-style revival house, one-of-a-kind pool and romantic archways, exudes the rich feeling of a picturesque hideaway with canyon, mountain, and vineyard views. All right, so sleeping arrangement for over 30... Okay, the mansion boasts 7 bedrooms. So let's assume everyone comes as a couple. So that's 14 people. So we could get your mom and dad, Game of Roses, but they also both have partners, right? And then my wife and I, that's 8 people right there. And then maybe we'll auction off a couple other beds. Let me know in the comment section if you want to be a part of that. As far as Corinne goes and the villain show, I don't have anything else to share other than we'll have to see what goes down with it. What could the show even be about? Is it just a house of villains that live together? If that's the case, I'm okay with that. It'll just be interesting to see what the backbone of the show is. As far as I'm concerned, I don't have much else to talk about. It's a little bit of a slow Friday. And when this happens, usually some crazy story breaks on a Friday afternoon. Usually the stories that are the most dramatic, that nobody wants press, like when PR people don't want their client to get bad press, they'll dump a story at like 5 p.m. Friday night. So I tell you, hit the subscribe button to this channel, because if any crazy news does come up this weekend, I want you to know I'm ready to cover it. All right, folks? Bachelor Rush Hour, the podcast this afternoon. Link in the comment section to have a listen. We'll talk to you later. Bye, everybody.